If you've ever owned a travel trailer, you know that there's an endless list of projects to do. One of those projects for me has been the install of my TV in my master bedroom. I've had this trailer for a couple years now, and to date I've just had my TV sitting on my shelf, and it unfortunately has fallen down a couple times. I did crack it a few times, but was able to pop everything back together. And my power cord's now a bit finicky, just because of it being strung by that cord a couple times. But today I'm going to fix all that. I'm going to install it and show you how I did it. If you've ever wanted a TV in your RV or travel trailer's bedroom, this project can make those rainy days a lot more comfortable. I'll walk you through the mounting process, power considerations, and the final setup. So I picked the current location for installing it because it fits between my dresser and my door frame. I have it centered with my bed and at a nice angle so I can see it laying down or sitting up in the bed. So I didn't use the hardware that came with the kit. Instead, I opted for 1/2-inch screws with a washer on to get enough bite into the stud without going through the exterior. So I already had the TV for this installation. It's a 20-inch TV DVD player that runs on 12-volt power. I chose 12-volt power so I can run it when I'm not plugged in and running off battery power. So I went with a Philips fixed TV mount, which will handle TVs anywhere from 17 to 55 inches. I went with this model because the price was very low. It has screws to hold the TV in place when you're traveling, and I'll angle it using the provided metal and plastic washers to get the angle just right. I'll leave a link in the description below. So here I'm undoing the screws to the original base of the TV. Now, in case I use this in future, I'm going to put the screws back into the TV so they're easy to find next time I need them. Here I'm installing the back mounts for the TV into the Versa mounts. At the bottom I'm using the thinner metal washer, and at the top I'm using the thicker plastic washer to get the angle that I need for my installation. But with yours you may need to use additional washers on the top or balance them out depending on what angle you need for your setup. And at the bottom there you can see those two set screws that hold your TV in place when it's installed. So for my installation I wanted it centered with the bed, so I took a overall width measurement of the bed, added that to the distance from my wall, and it gave me 48 inches. So I measured 48 inches from the non-round part of my wall to get a marking. So then I test mounted the brackets to the actual mount itself to make sure I had enough clearance from the center of hole to the roof in my case. And you have to add about 1 inch extra to make sure you have enough for the TV to slide on and off of the bracket. So here I used the measurement in reference to my left wall because that wall didn't have the rounded corner at the top that the right wall did. So here's the final test fit. Make sure you do this. I almost forgot. This saves you from putting more screw holes in your wall than needed. With everything fit and tested, I went ahead and put in the center screw at the right height based on my marking. The trailer wasn't level at this point, so I just used the ceiling as my reference and installed all the screws, hung the TV, and now it looks good. Before I did my final installation, I made sure I installed my power and my HDMI for my box that I'm going to plug in here. Hang it on the mount. When it's in the right place, tighten the set screws at the bottom. This will stop it from sliding left to right or falling off if you hit big bumps on the road. And to clean up the wires, I just wrap them around the TV. But you can see testing it up, it fired up, and everything looks good. I think I'm going to try print some 3D brackets to hide the wiring. So was it worth it? Absolutely. I don't know how I survived a year without it. In fact, I almost damaged my TV. Lesson learned, I almost installed it without test fitting it. So make sure to test fit before you do your final installation because it's hard to turn back once you have all the screws in your wall.
Well, that's one more project checked off the list. The TV's installed. I really like it. I really appreciate having TV when I'm falling asleep. That's my key to a good night rest. And if you've done a similar install, let me know in the comments. If you found this video helpful, throw a thumbs up, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for listening. Bye.